Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most merciful. Guys, first of all, I welcome every one of you in the new series of PSF, that is Meet the Professional. So the objective of this series is the who are the core audience. The audience are the professionals. The audience are the freshers. Audience are the job seekers. So in this series, what we are going to our objective is we are going to get a new professional every Sunday. New professionals, so they will come online and they will share their experiences. They will share their knowledge. They will share their journey of the professionalism with you, and so that you can learn. So that's the objective we have, and it will be interactive session. So this what we are doing from PSF front, we have, as you know, the Professional Solidarity Forum. It is a professional network for the humanity. We work social work. We do a job guidance programs. We do for the professional development programs. We conduct the job fairs and all. You all aware with that. So we are running we are having more than 2,000 professional networks. With that, we are with the professional, we are running more than 15 WhatsApp groups of Hyderabad based jobs and and Gulf based jobs. So Alhamdulillah, the PSF is a well-known organization, well-known NGO in Hyderabad, and now the PSF is spread into the in Delhi, Bangalore, Mumbai, and in Hyderabad. Now you are the part of the. So this series is the part of the Hyderabad PSF. So today, speaker is he's a well-known speaker, Mr. Haqani Mohammad. He is going to address the first session with us. So I will not take much time. So let's warm welcome Mr. Haqani, sir. So welcome. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's a fantastic context setting. Just confirm if you all hear me okay.
But we can't see you, sir.
All right. So let me turn on the camera as well. I think since the screen is shared, that's the reason it's not allowing me for the camera. Let me just stop the screen and then try it. Okay, there seems to be some challenge with my camera. Anyways, so let's get started with this thing because for now you can manage with the voice. Let's see if we can troubleshoot the video. Then probably you can see me very soon on this. Right. So just
We can see
see
you.
my
We can see you.
screen. Is it now visible? Okay, so I assume that you're all seeing me. So I welcome you all to the session, of course, session for the year 2021 on the employability skills. I just call it as basic employability skills training because it is something which every individual needs to have. It is something that any employer is looking into any potential employee. And that's how I call it as the best training or the simple words, basic employability skills training program. So we're going to discuss about 5 top employability skills today. But then before we get deeper into it, I would really like to take you through something that we all need to be aware of, that we need to really understand the reason why of something. So because there are 3 things that we look into in anything that we like to learn. One is, why is that want to learn anything? What is that motivation level? What's in it for me, isn't it? So why question is a $1 million question. Then comes the what and how. So what is that you want to learn? So what is that you want to learn? You can find it in many places. Then the next question would be is, how that should be learned. That's the point. the help of it. So we're going to do these three questions, fundamentally these questions: what to learn and how to learn, and more importantly, why to learn. So is somebody trying to talk? Wants to say something? Okay. So if you're not talking, I would really appreciate if you could go on mute, please. That would really help others also to concentrate and listen. So we are primarily going to talk about three things. What are those three things? Can you just speak out or chat out on the chat window? What are those three things I discussed just now? We are going to the questions. Very good. Yes. Is my voice not clear yet? I think somebody wrote that voice is not clear. Okay. Haris Nadeem, could you confirm whether the voice is clear, audible, and the slide is visible, everything? Okay. People say the voice is not clear. Is that the case? Let me just check. Wait a minute. One.
I believe now you'd be able to listen to me clearly. Hope it is clearer now because I was on to the other. Um, yes, your screen is clear. Well, confirmation. Now it's clear. Voice. Could somebody confirm? Not yet. Uh, uh, okay. Because I just changed the audio of the thing. So anyways, let us do it this way. Let me stop my video and probably we can focus on our audio more. Okay. Now is it any better?
Yeah, it looks better now.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I think that was a video which was getting in between. Anyway, so I think my voice is clear now, I assume, and then you are able to see my screen. Both the things. Let's quickly put it on the chat box. That is how we can, yes, fantastic. Oh, good. So that's how communication helps. See, communication is everywhere. People say that communication is an effective part of your employability skill. I would say it is the part of your life, isn't it? It's life. Communication is required for our day-to-day interactions, and that's how one of our top employability skill that you would see today is definitely effective business communication skills. Though I call it as business communication skills, it is indeed our life skill. And I call that as the mother of all soft skills. Communication is the mother of all the soft skills. All right, so let's get started with our program today on this employability skill. And with this, let me just introduce for some people that they don't know me. My name is Mohammad Haqani, and I take care of learning and development for Cognizant Technology Solutions, and I take care of Middle East and Africa region. I've been into learning and development, leadership programs, coaching, mentoring, life coaching, and executive coaching for almost like 16, 17 years, alhamdulillah. And I've been learning and exploring, sharing, because the more you learn, the more you train, the more you want to learn more, isn't it? So, still exploring the options and how we can learn better. And that's how I'm here today with you to share some of my experiences, a lot of your experiences, because there I see about 30 people on this on the floor on Zoom. That means 30 into number of years of experience that you have. And if you feel that you do not have experience for that matter, if you feel that you are fresher, then don't worry about it. I'm going to talk about how much experience you have got in that field as well. So stay tuned on that. With that, let's exactly get into the topic today. So let me start with a question. See, as a coach, I always start with a question because it is more important to know you. What do you think about yourself, about your life in your language? I think that's better. Instead of me, it's you. So that's how we are interested in, isn't it? So a quick question to all of you. What is your life's goal? I quickly want all of you to put it on the chat box, please. What is your life goal? Let's see. Just simple, in simple, very simple question. What is your life's goal? I'm not talking about somebody else's life's goal. I'm talking about you. I'm sure you have been there in this life, in this world for almost some decade, at least 2, 3 decades. So that's how. So Usman says, make a positive impact on society. Very good. Others, what do you say? To get good job. Very good. What else? What else? To become a software developer. Very good. What else? I want to do something different in my life. And what's that different? Tomato ketchup? It's different, isn't it? For us? So maybe you want to have a tomato ketchup. A good data scientist, Imad says. Okay, good, interesting. I see a lot of people from the software industry. Mushtaba says to become a helpful person of society. Helpful, very good. To become a design engineer. I don't know, read me, GI, what's a name? You can type your name as well so that I can call you by name, because connecting with the people is more important than connecting with the slides. So let's make it more interactive. Yeah. So what else? Farouk, very good, thanks. Earn a lot of money by good way. Very good. A professional who learn and earn. Nadeem, very good. Very good. Very good. So a lot of things, all right? So everybody has got a lot of life's goal, but I think this is where we at times may not think to the full potential that we have got. So ultimately, let me help you with this statement, okay? So let's imagine today is the last day of your work at office or at school or at college or somewhere, let's say. We can exaggerate to the life as well, last day of the life as well, if you would like to. If you're not so serious about it, then probably we can take that as an example as well. So imagine today is the last day of your office, working day at office, okay, or a school if you are a student or university. Now, this is your farewell party and you have your colleagues around you and you need to know who you are and how you are. So what would you like to hear about you and your achievements in that speech, in your farewell speech? Let's see that. So there's a farewell party for you and your colleagues. They are arranging this and they're giving you a party, right? At the farewell party, people talk about you. Hey, this was a good person. Now he's leaving. Blah blah blah. Da 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 da. So what is that you would like to hear about you by your colleagues and friends about your achievements? Let's see that. Come on, type it out. Can you put it on the chat box, please? Contributions. Talk about it. Let's be as specific as possible. Let's try to be as specific as possible, isn't it? Let's see what is that you would like to hear. Honest. Okay. Very good. What else? Go on. Approachable and solution giver. Very good. What else? Cheerful. Very nice. What else? What would you like to hear about you? Good job or at work and supportive. Very good. What else? Farouk, I think that is. Yeah. What else? Polite, humble. Fantastic. What else? What else? Come on, go on. You're talking about people, isn't it? You're talking about people. So people talk about people. Innocent and good person. Oh my goodness. Innocent. Okay, good. So you mean to say very, very decent, humble and all, I believe. So because no human being is innocent, we are all sinful, but then we keep repenting, isn't it? Excellent leadership skills. Very good. Trustworthiness. Very good. Trustworthiness. Wow. Having a lot of ability. Very good. So if you understand this, now, just now I asked you a question, what is the purpose of your life? And most of you, not all, were talking about data science, software engineering, money, your career, your job. Where is it now? Where is it now? You want to have this, but you want the people to talk about your behavior, your politeness, your trustworthiness, your ability, your jovial attitude, your friendly attitude. You want them to talk about these, but you want to have something else. Don't you think there is a discrepancy? Don't you think there's a discrepancy? That means what we want in our life is probably what we want to hear from others, isn't it? So actually, you're now addressing the question. You're addressing the question, what is your goal in your life? Is this you want to be a great human being, first of all, isn't it? You want to be a humble and a polite and a friendly person. You want to be a very effective communicator so that you can help people. You want to be a helper. You want to be someone who's approachable. You want to be a solution giver. Now, solution doesn't have to be technical. It can be anything, isn't it? So essentially, we now understand that there is a confusion in our mind. We want something and we need something. There's a huge difference between the wants and the needs, isn't it? What we want, we may not need it, but what we need is necessary. I want a Ferrari, but do I need it? I need a Bugatti. Do I need it? I may need a small four-wheeler. That's it. That would do my job, isn't it? So our needs are very basic, very fundamental, very, very essential. And that's the reason I call it as basic employability. Because we generally forget about basics and talk of things and very, very huge terms, which we probably don't understand many times, right? So with that question, so let me deeper into it. So what would you like to hear in that speech is what you said. Now, what difference do you want to make now? Now you know that you want to hear this. Now, my question to you is, how would you reflect back to your life's goal now? Now, let me ask this question again. What is your life's goal? Now, before I go for that, I'm just trying to extrapolate this and exaggerate the situation to a little more. And let's be serious and say, this is the last day of our life. This is the last day of our life. Then what would you like to hear? Because you know that even when we are, you know, there, then still we can hear some voices down until some time. So I don't want to get deeper into it, but then what do you want to hear about your life? That's $1 million question. I don't want you to tell me now. I just want you to reflect onto that question. What would you like to hear about yourself? So let me see. I think some people say there is a voice. Is it any better so that you can hear me? Okay. I guess this is better now. Okay, good. Thanks for confirmation. All right. So I want you to give this time to reflect on this $1 million question of your life. What's your purpose of your life? So think deeply on this, because only then, and really only then, you would really understand what is that you want to do with your life. Okay. So let's go ahead. Same again. Voice is not clear. I am not quite sure what is the difference, but then is it with everybody or is it only with Amir? Perhaps let me check. Okay, so I'm back on the audio. So just confirm if this voice is better or any better than earlier. Okay, very good. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, good, good, good. All right, all right. Thanks for the confirmation. So let's get moving. So with that reflection, I want you to take this question back here to your board and then think about it deeper and try to develop your uh, purpose of life, sense of life as well. Now, here's a quick question. Do you have a pen and paper handy? Could you please take a pen and paper or a pencil, anything, just quickly? I want you to do one activity for you. Very important activity, very basic activity, but very, very, very impactful, very powerful activity. This is, if you reflect. Okay. So I believe that you have got a pen and paper handy. Now, what I want you to do, as you see on the screen, you draw a circle. Okay. You draw a circle, a big circle, and that's the wheel of your life. Now, we are trying to see how we are balancing our life. Now, the wheel of your life, draw a circle and then divide that circle into multiple sectors, as you see on the screen. Now, that could be, once you divide that into multiple sectors, you can give each sector or each section a part of your life. For example, as you see on the left hand side of the screen, it could be about your health, about your family and friends, about your significant other or your spouse, about your personal growth, your fun and leisure and recreation, your home environment or home management, about your career, about finance or money, and also spirituality. Okay. About all these things, you can add anything else as well which is important to you, because everybody has got different priorities in their lives, right? So you just divide that into as many things as possible. You want to do it with only few of them and want to do it with more, you want to add more sections to it, it's up to you, it's your life. So once you divide that wheel into these many sectors, now hear me out here. What you need to do, consider, as you see on the screen, consider from the middle of the screen, that is zero, that consider this to be 0, and the end of the circle, consider that to be the maximum 10 on a scale of 0 to 10. So we're creating a small scale of 0 to 10. So on a scale of 1 to 10, or 0 to 10 rather, you can take it that way. On a scale of 0 to 10, mark where you stand on each of these domains. Mark on each of the sectors or sections where you stand on each of these domains. For example, if you think that on the health factor, you're somewhere around 5-ish or 6-ish, it's your feeling. Nobody is there to judge you. You are the best judge about yourself. Nobody else can judge you better. You know, human beings, adults cannot be trained. Adults don't learn by training, because others learn by realization. If you realize, you can learn, because you are the trainer for yourself. You are the coach for yourself. You are the judge for yourself. So that's important. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Let me reiterate this. So you draw a circle on a paper and then divide that circle into number of sections. And then for each section, you give a name of a part of your life, like health, about your money management or wealth management, about your fun, life, anything which is important to you in your life. Start naming each section. And then for each section, make a scale of 0 to 10, which you see on the screen. Can you see in the picture? 0 to 10, there's a small scale. So try to do that. And once that is done, now you start marking each. For example, let's say your finance. And in the finance, say you're not that effective in your finance management and you're somewhere around 4. On a scale of 0 to 10, you feel you are at a level of 4. You feel in the career, you're at a level of 6 on a scale of 0 to 10. You feel in your physical fitness, you are at a level called 7. So depending on what you think, start marking onto that small sections. Is it done? Once it is done, try to connect the dot, just like we do in the graph. Try to connect and make it that circle, which will become a zigzag circle, I believe, unless you have the same point in each segment. like 5 in all, so you make a smaller circle in the bigger circle, or 10 all, you make a bigger circle. So try to connect the dots. This is how we say connect the dots. What kind of circle do you see now of your life? Can anybody chat on the screen, or if somebody can unmute them, you want to unmute and talk, I'm absolutely fine with unmute and talk. Hexagon, very good. What else? Others? a lot of a lot of different circles, isn't it? Yeah, zigzag circle. So if you observe, most of our lives, the wheel, that's actually an immediate, simple pictorial representation of our life at the moment. You get it? I repeat, that is, in simple terms, your immediate, simple, visual display of the status of our life. Our life is imbalanced. That's the reason. That's the reason our life is imbalanced. We always say, hey, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know where am I going wrong. This is a simple litmus test. This is a simple, thermometer that you can start doing the small, simple visual analysis, and you are the best judge to look at yourself. You don't have anybody else to tell you. You would know in just a couple of minutes which leg of your life, which part of your life it is going down, and you need to give it up. You need to pick it up. So that is how it's a simple pictorial representation of your life. I hope you are enjoying this activity. Very simple activity, but very powerful, trust me. Very, very powerful activity. So what I would advise you to do, since the time constraint, I'm just trying to touch base on this topic, but maybe once we have a full-fledged workshop on each of these topics, we will definitely dig deeper into it, and I can talk about this. We can have an activity for 2 hours only on this. Yes, we can do that as well. Okay. So, but for now, let's move on. So this is a quick reflection of your life. I just wanted to give you a little sense of the presence, what you are into, and then so things would move on. So let me, I think there is somebody, Ahmed, who is waiting. Good. So let's move on. Now, what do you need to do next is, now where your life is going up and down. Now you need to set your goal. The next step, immediate step, action plan. You need to set your goal. The goal should be SMART goal. You might have heard about the SMART goal, isn't it? You cannot just say, I want to become somebody. I want to become something. I want to do something. No, it has to be very specific. It has to be very, very specific, measurable, and attainable and achievable, realistic, and time bound. If you do not have a SMART goal, then you are probably wandering in the life. You don't know what exactly you need to do, you want to do. So you need to be very, very clear on what exactly you want to do, how you want to measure whether you have done it, how would you know that you got it. You need to know whether it is achievable, possible or not, whether it is really realistic and relevant to what you're doing in your life, and is it time bound or is it open-ended? Because anything which is open-ended cannot be achieved. A problem that cannot be defined cannot be resolved, isn't it? Very famous saying. A problem which cannot be defined cannot be resolved. So you need to define the problem of your life. And each problem has a problem statement which has a very specific aim to reach, goal to reach, an objective reach. It should be measurable. What makes you feel that you have got it? It is achievable, whether it is possible in this life, in this month, in this year. 2021 goal, for example, is a good way to start from that angle. And is it realistic? Is it relevant? Is it something which is connected to your life, your whole objective, your life's purpose? Is it for that, or you're copying from somebody else? Don't copy, my dear friends. Don't copy your goals from others, not even from the celebrities. Okay. And the time bound, it has to be time bound. You need to limit, okay, when I want to start, when I want to finish. So you need to have time bound for that. So this is called a SMART goal. So please start looking to each item as a SMART goal. Now, once you do that, you will definitely see a lot of value into it. Now, let me ask you a question here. So many of you, when you set your SMART goals, when you see your wheel of life and the purpose of life that you have got into it, now the question is, if I am a fresher, some people may be freshers. When I say fresher, college graduates, school graduates, and they may see that, okay, I don't have any experience, so how would I look into it? I would like to put it very simple here. Your personal life is your real experience, because that is how it teaches you three major qualities. Can anybody tell me what those three major qualities could be? Just let's see. What are the wild guesses? What your life generally teaches you? Three major qualities. Let's see. What do you think your life has taught you? Or rather, let me put it straight to you. What your life has taught you so far? Strengths, very good. What else? I would appreciate if all the people would just give your responses. Do not worry about your response. Remember, friends, um, if you feel that you're making mistake, it's okay. It is good to make mistakes and learn from the mistakes. Mistakes are no mistakes when you learn from them, but mistakes are the learning opportunities when you learn from them. But mistakes are crime when you repeat them. Yes, lessons, consistency, determination, overcome mistakes and all. Absolutely. So if you put together this into in simple terms, then here are the three things. Number one, your life gives you motivation. The number one quality that you can get from your personal experience is you get motivation. What's the meaning of motivation? What's the meaning of motivation? Yes. What's the meaning? Yes, positive attitude towards life. Very good. So confidence, very nice. So motivation is, in simple terms, it's the reason behind whatever you do. If you have a reason behind that, that's a motivation. For example, many times you do something because you want to do, because you know what is the reason behind that. And sometimes you don't do things and you say that I'm demotivated. The reason is not that you're demotivated, rather you do not know the reason why you should do that. The moment you get the answer to the question why you should do that, you would be motivated automatically. According to Erickson, Erickson was a great psychologist, and he has created a lot of mental models, and especially in neuro-linguistic programming. And he said he has got a 7 principles of motivation. He says nobody is motivated, or he put across a second statement saying that everybody is motivated. Then he says nobody can motivate anybody because people are self-motivated. People don't do things for your reason, people do things for their own reason. So if you have a reason to reason, the very reason to do it reasonably well, then you do it really well. So that's about your motivation. Life gives you character. See the crux, the character. Now let me ask you the question. When the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he started preaching Islam, what was his age? What was his age? Anybody remembers? When he became the prophet, when he started getting the revelations, wahi started, right? So he was at the age of 40. You all agree with that? Yes. So only from the age of 40, he started preaching Islam to the people, or the best practices to the people, or the culture to the people, or the humanity to the people, in other words, right? Now, let me ask you this question. Let's think over it. It's a very simple, very, very, very fundamental question. What had he been doing for 40 years? What had he been doing for 40 years in Mecca? What was he doing? Yes, there you go. He was building the character. That is the reason people used to call him Al-Sadiq Al-Amin, the trustworthy and the honest, isn't it? He did not get the title in a day or two, in a month or a year or two. It took 40 years, and for 40 years consistently, he proved himself to be honest, to be trustworthy. That is not very simple task. What we think, we know something great, we start preaching like scholars. We don't even worry about our own character. So the first thing we need to do is, even the prophets used to build their character first, and their status first, and their reputation first, and they used to speak because only then people used to respect their words, because they live up to their expectations, isn't it? In the same way, our personal life builds our character, and more importantly, it gives our energy as well, the energy to do things, the energy to experiment. So these are the three characteristics and the quality that we get in our personal life: motivation, character, and energy. Now, when we look at these three things, let me ask you as a professional, what are the qualities of a professional? What do you think? If you think you are a professional, what are the qualities of a professional? Who is a professional, by the way? We talk a lot about professionals, right? Commonly used, misused, abused, and amused word, professional. What do you think? What are the qualities? If you are a professional, what are your qualities? Or how a professional should be? What are the qualities of a professional? What do you think? Let's see in the chat box. Come on, let's go on. Will himself concentrate on results, behavior, and how to communicate. What else? Contribution to society, professionals. Come on, go on. Very good. What else? Positive attitude. Others? I see about 39 names. I want at least 39 responses. Helpful. Discipline. Okay. Responsible. Awesome. Go on. Go on. Go on. A professional can understand what is wrong and right. That means you need to have knowledge to understand that, right? Behavior. What type of behavior? A positive, optimistic, charismatic, integrity, time management, understanding situation. Very good. Awesome. I'm talking to the professionals then. Very good. So you understand what you mean. Because realization is important. And just try to jot down all these points and write it down in your journal and then see, are you reflecting? If I have to look at myself, I will look into it and say, am I demonstrating these behaviors? Am I possessing these qualities? And I think that's the best way to judge or analyze yourself. Now, the next question, what's the purpose of your life now? Now, based on all these things, start rewriting the purpose of your life. That is how we started our session with. And what do you want to achieve in your life? Start thinking about it. I'll give you a couple of seconds. Please write down in your journal or in your note. I want you to really write it down because, if you write down, you will remember, you will commit to it. There's a psychological impact to it. My question is very simple. What's the purpose of your life now? What is that you want to achieve? Let's take a couple of minutes. Let's reflect, think, and write down a statement or a couple of words in your diary and highlight it. Bold highlight. And I want you to reflect every time you look at your purpose of life. Now, I'm sure that you have done it. So with the interest of time, I just want to get into this. So we need to fundamentally ask ourselves this question called ask, ASK. I think there is some problem with the PowerPoint. I hope it is. Okay, just a moment. It is restarting. Give me a moment, please. So in the meanwhile, you can keep writing your purpose of life. I just restart my presentation, PPT. There looks to be some. Okay. Hope it's visible. Yeah. Just confirm if you are seeing a single screen full with the slide that we were on. Yes, visible. Thank you. Okay, good. So what we were discussing is on this question. Now let us ask. Now we need to ask ourselves this basic question called ask in order to get into our skills and employability part of it. Let's get into that. Can anybody tell me what is ask? It's an acronym.
Hello.
Yeah. Others, can you go on mute, please? If you want to say something, please unmute and talk. Yeah. Okay. So can anybody tell me what is ASK? What does it stand for? Any guess? Any guess? Let's see. No problem. If you're right or wrong, that's okay. You can still try that. All right. So let me make it simple for you. A stands for attitude. Now, attitude is a question that you ask why to do whatever you want to do. And S stands for skill, how exactly to do it. And then knowledge is the answer to the question what to do. Nowadays, I think most of us have got the knowledge. We know what to do. We need to learn, we need to demonstrate, we need to do all these things. We know what to do. Knowledge is abundance. In fact, we're cursed by knowledge. We know a lot than what is required as well. But the question is how to do. Now, many a times what we know, we may not know how to do it. So that is the skill part of it. When you practice, when you practice that more, you get to know the skill. And the most important question is, why should you do, first of all? That is the attitude. That's about your real motivation comes from. You remember the word motivation there? Why to do is the motivation. If you know the reason behind, then you will get the skill and knowledge. Now, let us see a little deeper into it and attitude in our terms. So let's consider this to be an iceberg. And if you see the iceberg in the sea, what percentage of the iceberg do you think is visible? Is it like 100%, 80%, 90%, 50%? What percentage of iceberg is it visible? What do you think? What's your opinion about it? 30% is visible, isn't it? Yeah. 10%, 20, 30, 45%. Okay. Okay. In general, if you look at any of these icebergs, you would actually see only 10% of the iceberg is visible above the sea level. And about 90% of the iceberg is below the sea level. It's hidden. Now, what does it mean? This simple principle we can apply in our life. And this is the same case with a tree. You know, the tree which is above the ground is only 10%, and the roots can go up to some kilometers, which is like 90% of the tree. And anybody can tell a tree can be strong when the roots are strong. In the same way, here are the roots. You can consider this to be the roots, which is below sea level. And you see that the iceberg, the same principle we can apply to the human beings. The human beings, the behaviors, the attribute traits that we have, the behaviors which are visible and observable to the people, it's only 10% of our personality. And about 90% of our personality is hidden in our mind, in our whole attitude. That is how we can look into it. So if you look at this iceberg, what is the knowledge and skill from the ask concept, which is known to others, is your knowledge and skill. But what is not known to others and hidden in your own self, your personality, is the attitude, which has got the morals, the sentiments, the ethics, the values, the motives, the standards. Everything is there in your attitude, and that impacts your behavior. Your attitude impacts your behavior. What is observable, visible is only 10%, and 90% is your attitude. Now, if you feel that you're not employed, you're not getting a job, you're not getting the business, you're not getting a proper life, you're not getting your life, anything in that life, then look at your attitude, because your attitude drives your behavior. Behavior is a byproduct of your attitude, your belief system, your values, your morals, your ethics. That is a fundamental thing to have. So this is the principle, 90 by 10 principle, and there is a small video, but let's see if you can see this. I don't know whether you can hear the voice of it, but there is no voice. Just look at this video about attitude. So that is how the life is, isn't it? How is the life? It's all about attitude. So whatever happens, you have to keep your cool, look at the bright side, keep your chin up, and look at what is happening good rather than what is happening bad. So that's a small, funny, but very, very basic and natural truth of the life. that we have got. So the question remains, what are the qualities of a professional? Try to look at those qualities, look at what is that you want to achieve and what is that you wanted to have in your life. When you look at the learning and development of yourself, what it produces is it produces a change in your ask again, that is skill, knowledge, and attitudes. And that is how we remember the concept of the ask, concept of the iceberg. So skill set is how to steps the application part of the knowledge. The knowledge is about the critical thinking, problem solving, decision making. There could be a lot of knowledge, subject matter, and a lot of things that you have. And attitude, it's your real crux of the matter. It's the real personality. It's your character building. The forming the habits is very, very important. Your behavioral change is very, very important. And everything comes from the habits. So this is the why part of it, why we are learning these concepts. Now there is a concept called the hedgehog hogs concept, and in this hedgehog's concept, he puts it very simple. He says that if you want to really know what is that you want to do, you look at three things, three questions: what you're good at, your skill sets; what you love doing, your passion; and what you get paid for, your rewards. Very simple questions you ask yourself. And anything which combines these three is where your actually interest lies in, and you would be more motivated over there. So you look at these three things: what you are good at, your skill sets; what you love doing, your passion, where is your heart and soul there; and what you get paid for, because we live in the world, we need to get paid for charity. We cannot just live on the charity for long, right? So we also need to learn and earn. Somebody I think mentioned learn and earn. So that's right. So what you get paid for. So this hedgehog's concept, very simple, three Venn diagram we call it as, right? If you remember from your maths in your, I think, 6th, 7th, 8th classes, we used to have this intersection of these circles, and this is where your interest lies. So try to see to it. Start mapping your skill sets, mapping your passion, and see what the industry is paying you for. If these three things combine, you are in the best business. Always look at these three things. Now let's get into the most important thing, the topic of the day. Now, why I was giving you all these background today. Now, the whole purpose of today was to give you the why of the 5 employability skills, because we need to understand the essence. Now, these 5 employability skills, as you have seen on the flyer as well, we have got the first one is the self-management and the personal impact, because we know it, we have seen it. Unless you build your character, unless it becomes a habit, unless it becomes a second nature,
Sir, your voice
you
is
will
not
not have
audible.
it. Okay, it's not audible, is it? Uh, okay, just give me a moment. Is it any better?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's quite better.
I joined the audio again. I hope it is better now. Okay, good. So good. So the first thing that we have seen is overall is a self-management that we need to look into it. And for each of this topic, do not worry about it. For each of the topic, we have a separate session consecutively. We will have it, inshallah, going forward on this, and a personal impact. Um, Self-management, we talk about the time management, the task management, about your confidence level, about your motivation. All these things revolves around this: your behavior, your personal branding, your executive presence. You need to have your personal impact, isn't it? When you open your mouth, people should say, wow, kuch baat hai bhai isme. There is something in him. That is something that you need to have. You need to have the clarity of the voice. You need to have that effectiveness in your tone. When you have that, people would listen to you. People want to listen. The only thing is speakers are not effective. So if the speakers are effective, people would love to listen, because we're bound to listen. We are naturally listeners, but we forget this or we ignore this because we don't get the quality to listen every time. And the personal impact is a very important topic. The second is definitely how we can enhance this overall with effective business communication skills. Though I said business over there, I would say it's effective life communication skills. As I told you in the beginning, I consider communication skills to be the mother of all the soft skills. And the third one is the critical thinking and problem solving, which will help you in decision making. We'll also see an entire module on this, how to think critically. When I say critical thinking, it is a very logical and analytical thinking. Now, why do you think that way? Because you want to be unbiased and you want to reach the problem statement in a very logical manner, in a very analytical manner, and you want to justify the decision that you make, a well-informed decision. And life is full of decisions, don't you think? How many times we make decisions in our life? Every day when we wake up, we start making a decision. The first decision we make is, can you tell me what's the first decision we make in a day? First decision. Let us see how many of you tell that. In general, whether to hit the snooze button on the alarm or to get up. Isn't it? So the moment we get up, the first thing is to have decisions. Whether should I wake up at 5 o'clock or 5:30, or maybe after 5 minutes, or maybe after 10 minutes, and then we start doing it. Should I have my breakfast first or should I take the meeting? A lot of choices. So a lot of times we are born with all these decision making problem solving. There could be small problems, and that is how, if you manage your life better, then you will have a proper life management. Essential consultative skills. Why would I call this to be very, very important and essential is, nowadays, as you know, we are getting digital. There are a lot of work which is done by robots, with the robotics, with the digital operations. So they are Internet of Things. Everywhere it is digitalized. There's a digital transformation everywhere. So probably for small tasks, people don't need us, but they need human beings to consult. Now, when we ask questions, now consulting, the fundamental element of consulting, or the skill of consulting, is probing, asking questions, asking powerful questions, and then offering the solutions. Now, why do you want to do that? Because you want to know the need of somebody. If you don't understand the need of your customers, of your friends, of your family, of your children, of your spouse, how would you cater to it? How would you fulfill that demand? So that's the reason many a times a problem in our families and in our businesses is we do not communicate. Either we don't communicate or we fight, which is not communicating. Fighting is not communicating, isn't it? When you have nothing to say, you start fighting. That's how human tendency is. When you start abusing, that means you're declaring that you don't have anything else to say. You're short of intelligence. So communication is having that conversation, asking effective questions, understanding, probing, and getting that as a consultative skill. If you're getting into IT, every employer and a client wants an IT consultant. Have you heard this word, IT consultant? That means a person who understands the problem, understands the nuances, understands the business side, understands the internal stakeholders, external stakeholders, ask relevant questions, understand the demand, propose a solution or devise a solution and offer the solution and get problem resolved overall. So that is very, very important as an essential skill. And of course, last but not the least in this top 5 is teamwork and collaboration. And I'm sure we all know about this, but the problem comes when we start implementing it. We all know it, but we start playing a game, we can see that how collaborative we are. Many times we fight internal to our teams, not only about work, but within fun also, we don't even remember this word. So we need to really make it a habit, and we can develop this. The good news is we can develop all these habits. So that is the whole point of having this discussion, and we will definitely have an entire session on each of these topics. Now, you can look into your career, you can see that how these are fitting into your career, and look at how exactly you can start honing and harnessing each of this topic. So let me give you a pause, a moment of reflection. I want you to write down on the piece of paper that you have got 3 things. Based on the discussion that we have discussed today, SSC, I call it as a SSC, not secondary school certificate, but here it is. What are those things that you haven't done or you are not doing so far that you should start doing? You can write down maybe a couple of things. Write down what are the things that you're not doing and would like to do, start doing. Means new things. What are the things that you are not doing and want to do? Second thing is, what are the things that you're doing and you shouldn't do it? like negative thinking, you know, a lot of stress, a lot of things like that. So maybe a couple of things you should stop doing that. And I want you to document it, please. That really helps. What are the things you want to start doing? What are the things that you want to stop doing? And last one, what are the things that you're doing good and you should continue doing? They're very good things. For example, if you keep smiling, keep smiling. Smiling is a charity. Smile is a charity, isn't it? If not anything else. So keep smiling. It enhances your overall, positivity in your body and gives you a great feeling. So look into these three things. What are the things you want to start doing, stop doing, and continue doing? Let me give you a moment. You can think about this and write down. Just let me know. Let me take a couple of moments here. All right. Are you done? Okay. So I think last another 5 minutes I think we have got. So let us look into this. Could you just confirm? Are you done with the SSC activity? Start doing, stop doing, and continue doing. You can write any couple of points that you feel, and you can also add anything else later on as well. Okay, sure. All right. So here is the thing. So as we discussed, that everything revolves around the habits that we have got. So here's a simple, again, a way to look into it. Number one is habits are formed on the knowledge. Knowledge is what to do, why to do, part of it. The theoretical component. Do you possess the knowledge? You need to ask yourself. Do I have the knowledge? Do I know it? Then the second question you need to ask is, do I do it? Do I know how to do it? Practical component. That's the skill part of it. Now, the most important thing is the reason to do it, the desire to do it, the motivation to do it. Now, do I have the motivation to do it? And that is how the habit revolves around these three things. If you have the knowledge, if you are practicing it, and if you have the crave and the desire and the willingness to do it, you will definitely and eventually develop great habits. Now, if you look at the communication component of it, the two remain same, the knowledge and skill. I'm just replacing the desire with the motivation. So communication competency revolves around these three things. There's a difference between language and communication, isn't it? Language is your linguistic ability to communicate. It could be in any language. But communication skill is an art. एक fun है, एक art है. It is a fun. It is an art, isn't it? So art, if you know English, you can apply that art. If you know Arabic, you can apply that art. If you know Urdu, you can apply that art. You know any other language, Telugu, you can apply that art. So communication skill is an art. You learn the skill, you can use any language. Now that's how we need to look into the paradigm of communication, the inside out. The language is a last result, or it is the byproduct of your overall communication strategy. Now it starts from the same concept called perception. If you have a positive perception about yourself and the society, you build positive attitude, and that's how your attitude impacts your behavior, and communication is your behavior, and you communicate effectively, efficiently, and proficiently, and you use a very proficient language with a verbal and non-verbal communication. We'll definitely talk a lot about it when we talk about our effective business communication or life communication. But for now, I just want to give you a little glimpse on what exactly we're going to talk about when we talk about communication. We talk both the language element of it as well as the art part of it. Now, the last thing I want to leave you with is the accomplishment of any big thing goes with a positive mindset, isn't it? The growth mindset. Now, if you see many people, they feel that, oh, I think I'm old, I cannot do it, or I've tried many times, I couldn't do it, or there could be a lot of negative thoughts. There is a saying by Henry Ford, very famous saying, if you think you cannot, you're right. But if you think you can, still you're right. That means nobody has to tell you whether you can do it or not. If you yourself feel that you can, you will have all the energy and enthusiasm to do it. Nobody can prove you wrong. But if you yourself fail yourself and you declare yourself that I cannot do it, and whoever come, they cannot help you, whatever that they can do to support you, they cannot support you, because internally the self that you have is always the right message. So if you feel that you cannot, that's it, everything would be overwritten. You cannot. So now it is in your hand. If you have a growth mindset and a positive attitude, if you feel that yes, inshallah, I can do it, you will do it. That's the point. So can you all say once again with me here over the chat, can you do all these 5 skills that we're looking at?
Inshallah, I will do it.
Yes or no? Very good, inshallah. Very good. So you can at least say to yourself, because self-talk is more important, tell it to yourself, yes, I can, and you will have a positive mindset. Look at the career wheel. So last exercise for you. Now, when we look at the life wheel, we have a lot of things. So out of that, there was one thing called career. Now I am taking career out of it and zooming into the career. Now, what is career? When we look at the career, there are 4 broad domain skill sets. Now, those 4 domain skill sets are your technical skills, your functional skills, your industrial domain skills, and your behavioral skills. Broadly, there are 4 domains. Now, many people reach me, they approach me and say, sir, I don't know, I want to enhance my career, but how should I do it? Where should I work? What should I do? Now, that is the answer here. Now, you need to look into these 4 major buckets. Now, number 1, look at your technical expertise. So if you are from an IT background, which I believe most of you are, otherwise you may have your other technical expertise. So you need to look at your technical, for example, the programming that you're doing, maybe Java, .NET, something like that, Python, something. Cloud technologies, AWS, Azure, Google, data science, data analytics, data visuals, Tableau, Power BI, a lot of things like that. Digital engineering, full stack engineering, a lot of things like that. You can look into that, which of the field that you want to focus your technical skills. Number 1. Now make it a career roadmap for yourself. Now this will help you to create your individual development roadmap, your individual development plan, your role development plan. All these things would come from this one. The second thing is look at your functional skill. Now, functional skills are the operational skills. It means besides technical, you always work on a day-to-day life. That means you need to know how to manage a project and a program and a portfolio. You need to know the process management like ITIL, information technology, information library and infrastructure library and information technology, ITIL. You have MS Office like Excel, SharePoint, Outlook, PPT, PowerPoint presentations, Agile, Scrum things. You have Lean Six Sigma, a lot of things like that. Change management, get into the behavioral thing as well. So things like that that revolves around the functional skills. Then you need to look into which industry you come from. If you come from a healthcare industry, you need to know a little bit more about the healthcare industry, because knowing the customer and the business would help you get the more skills, relevant skill. This is how the R stands for relevance. It is relevant to your industry. Life sciences, if for example, if you are from, so you need to know more about it. Automobile industry, BFSI, banking and financial services and insurances, travel and hospitality industry, if you are from. So you need to know about the industry as well. The success of the world is not only to know your technicalities, the core technical. You need to know your customer's customer, the end users, your direct customers, because only when you keep them in your mind, you can design the solutions properly. That's called design thinking. It also comes from behavioral skills. Design thinking, the UX and UI, the user interface, all those things you can get, user experiences and interfaces. Your behavioral skills, your self-management, your communication skills, problem solving, decision making, critical thinking, lateral thinking, teamwork, collaboration, presentation, interviewing, a lot of many skills, emotional intelligence, your behavioral styles, your communication styles, a lot of skills get into this. So if you look at these 4, I can give you as a kind of a blueprint, and then you can plan your overall career development roadmap. This is a wheel of your career. This will give you a quick view again, where are you standing. So again, you can do 0 to 10 on a scale of 0 to 10 on each of these 4 and see where are you standing. and then look into it, which is the area that you want to really focus more. So these are the 5 top skills, and we would definitely discuss in detail about these 5 skills. And these 5 skills fall under which category? Let me see this. Can you type and let me know which category out of your career these 5 fall under? Quick. Let's see on the chat box. Yes, very good. Okay, you just name it instead of 3, 4. You name it. If you want, I can just go back for you. Yeah. Now, can you tell me quickly? Technical skill, functional skill, industrial skill, or behavioral skill? It's an open exam. There's a cheat sheet in front of you all. Yes. So behavioral skills, and definitely, as I think, as you said, these are the core skills and essential skills which will help you across, definitely. But these are called behavioral skills, and behavioral skills are across all these skills, and but predominantly they fall into the category called behavioral. So we'll definitely look into these 5 essential skills: self-management, personal impact, effective business communication skills, critical thinking and problem solving, decision making, essential consultative skills, teamwork, and self-management. So put your goals, set your goals on these 5, and let's see how we can call and get into those each topic subsequently. So finally, let me close by saying I call myself as a believer of attitude, student of knowledge, and a practitioner of skills. If you have got any question, we can take it now, and we can take our sessions going forward as well. Thanks a lot. And I hope that you had got some insights into the topic and a reason to look into it, and a lot of brainstorming and reflection on your life and career. All the very best. Looking forward to see you in the next sessions. Over to you, Nadeem.
Yeah, thanks a lot, sir. First of all, thanks to Almighty who has given opportunity to us to arrange such session, and